Madlala told Mr. Shope straight, told him that the boyfriend of Zandi is the one who shot Senzo. Tumelo Madlala told Mr. Shope straight, told him that the boyfriend of Zandi is the one who shot Senzo.
Yay, tada! We are back with another video. The page it is called South African Late News. That was the voice of Advocate Mngomezulu reminding the court as to who is the real shooter of Senzo Meyiwa. Based on the statement, we know that Longotwala is the one that allegedly shot Senzo Meyiwa by mistake. So the state has got the wrong accused before court. So as things stands now, this trial is just a waste of time. But having said that, the case will resume on the 25th of August this year. And on that day, Advocate Nxumalo will give oral arguments on why accused number 4 should be cleared in terms of Section 174 discharge. So we shall wait for that day. But I cannot wait. What's clear is that the state has always wanted to arrest the people that fit the profile of Izinkabi. That is why the state fabricated evidence against the likes of accused number 3, 4, and 5. When the accused initially appeared, I think they appeared in the Randburg Magistrate High Court. Fiso Ntuli shouted and told the courts that Gininda was on a fishing expedition in prisons, looking for the perfect suspects to charge with the shooting of Senzo Meyiwa. So in that he was saying, Gininda did not care if he got the right suspect or not, but he was looking for the perfect suspect. So Izinkabi would have been the perfect suspect because the public was going to believe anything that the police were saying because the individuals were Izinkabis. He thought the public was naive and dumb and stupid. However, we are not so stupid. And thereafter, some of you told us that the police tried to get a confession from another person in the Pietermaritzburg High Court. However, on that day, the judge in Pietermaritzburg chased away that witness and the police because it was clear that the confession was fabricated and it was a lie. So in actual fact, Mwantans and Mosibiya are not the first accused to have been forced to confess. The state has tried to get so many people to make misleading statements or misleading confessions. That's a clear case that happened in the Pietermaritzburg High Court, and Fiso Meyiwa told us about that story. So I've got no reason to doubt Fiso Meyiwa. And thereafter, the state's case is not evidence-based, but it is based on circumstantial facts. So the state does not have conclusive evidence that shows Uguti the shooting was a hit or organized by Izinkabi. We were told that Ulongatwala, when the intruders came into the house, he ran towards Inkabi and then ran out. But Izinkabi never shot him and they never chased him. So that's not a sign of Inkabi. Inkabi would have shot and unalived everyone and left no witnesses. So it's clear that the state is lying to us. The 5 men that are before court are not the shooters of Senzo Meyiwa. Having said that, the case will resume on the 25th of August. And one thing for sure, Baloyi does not have faith in his own case. You know that Baloyi did not bring all the 5 or 6 or 7 eyewitnesses that were in the house. He only brought us 3. Why Khumalo was not brought to court to give us the full picture of what happened on the day? Clearly, Gininda and Baloyi are scared that Khumalo might contradict Utumela Madlala, Tozitwala, and Zandi Khumalo. We know for the fact that Kelly Khumalo will not be brought because Baloyi thinks she's a mastermind. So that was out of question. But the least that Baloyi could have done was to bring Khumalo because she was in the house. She may have seen something different from the other 3 eyewitnesses that were brought before court. So Baloyi is scared to contradict his case because it is a total fabrication. And I can say that without any fear of contradiction or whatsoever, because it's clear that Baloyi does not have faith in his own case. So by not calling everyone that was in the house, Baloyi has failed to prove his case beyond reasonable doubt. So Judge Rata will have to acquit this man because not sufficient evidence was provided against this man. Baloyi brought witnesses for about 3 years, and none of them could tell us for certainty that Gadla Mncube is the shooter. None of them. The defense does not have to prove anything, but the case has to be proven by the state. So uBaloyi should have called Ulongwe, Makhumalo, and maybe uMaphiri, then give us the full picture of what happened. So now we've got doubts in this and that because the state did not give us all the witnesses. Baloyi chose to focus on the disputed confessions and the debunked statement of Absolute Mzungu. We know for a fact that Ubaba Mzungu did not give a statement, but Gininda told us otherwise. So it's clear that Gininda misled the court. And then Baloyi also failed to charge the alleged mastermind, of which is Kelly Khumalo. If Kelly Khumalo was the real mastermind, then she should have been charged and then be accused number 1 because she would have been instrumental in the shooting of Senzo Meyiwa. But Baloyi did not charge her. So that on its own again shows that Baloyi does not have faith in his own case. He is scared that Khumalo might walk away scot-free. So he just rather focus on charging these guys because they illegally obtained that fake confession. The entire investigation by Gininda is shaky. Remember that the DNA evidence found that all 5 men were excluded from sample taken from the house, meaning that all 5 men were not in the house. That is why the state focused on the confessions. But the entire investigation by Gininda is dodgy. The same Gininda has been accused by Absolute Mzungu of trying to fabricate evidence. Therefore, the credibility of Brigadier Gininda is highly questionable. The state witnesses also contradicted about the gun evidence. The people in the house said the intruder was carrying a gun that had a wheel, which means the gun was a revolver. But on the other hand, Chris Mangena is telling us that the gun that was used to shoot Senzo Meyiwa was a 9mm, not a revolver. So that is a huge contradiction by the 2 separate state witnesses. When I'm saying 2, I'm saying one group and the other group. The people in the house are one group, and Mangena on his own is a group because he conducted the investigation with the help of Serero and others. But the people that were in the house said the gun had a wheel. And the state should believe the eyewitnesses because we're in the house. They are the ones that saw the actual gun. So that creates some reasonable doubt for Judge Rata. Therefore, he cannot find these guys guilty. Then the telephone record provided by Vodacom shows that Gadla Mncube was in Johannesburg CBD at the same time when Senzo was shot. That clearly shows that Gadla Mncube is not the shooter of Senzo Meyiwa because he cannot be in 2 places at once. Gadla Mncube is not the Holy Spirit. So he can't be in Johannesburg and Vosloorus at the same time. So Gadla Mncube is cleared by the Vodacom records. His phone pinged in the Johannesburg CBD, meaning he's not the shooter. If he's not the shooter, then it means the other 4 guys were also not there in the house because we are told that they traveled by 1 car. So if Gadla was not there, then Tanzi was not there, then Sibi was not there. The same for Ntuli and Mapisa. So the state has got no case. Then the Absolute Mzungu factor. Absolute Mzungu discredited his own son, Constable Zungu. Absolute told us that his son told him Oguchi. He testified in court because he was promised a promotion within the SAPS. So I do not believe anything that comes out of of Constable Zungu's mouth because his father has thrown him under the bus. His father has indirectly told us that Constable Zungu is a liar, which means Constable Zungu was not at the hostel when Senzo was shot. That is a fabrication by the police in conjunction with Constable Zungu. So those facts makes the state case very weak because it is contradiction and no credibility for Ukininda. The same Kininda was also accused of torture in the Roda van Kretcher case. In that case, Kininda was also accused of offering a witness 3 million rand. The same story that was told to the court by Bogantans. So Ukininda has a tendency of offering money in return of confessions. That is how it seems he conduct his investigation. He does not investigate, but he rather throws cash around just to make the case easy for himself and the state. So, in my own view, I just hope that one day Ukininda is investigated on how he conducted his investigation. The allegation by Babu Zungu on its own should have triggered suspension for Kininda because those are serious allegations against the brigadier. However, nothing happened because this country, we live in a mafia state. There's one justice for the rich and one justice for the poor. If the allegations by Ubab Absalom Zungu are true, then Kininda has a lot of explaining about the hearsay evidence that was led in court. Kininda kept on mentioning the statement of Absalom Zungu. Kininda told us that the breakthrough in this case was made when Ubaba Zungu told them about Untanzi and Sibiya's involvement in the shooting of Meyiwa. However, Absalom Zungu says he never made such a statement. He says Kininda has lied to the court. So Ubaba Zungu is indirectly saying that Kininda committed perjury because he lied under oath. That is the implication of Ubaba Zungu's allegations. So if South Africa was a proper state where corruption is taken seriously, Kininda would have been suspended and then a formal investigation against him would have proceeded. The same way we are investigating the allegations by Ntatlam Kwanas. That's the same thing that should have been done to Kininda because he is a state police. Any accusation against him needs to be taken seriously. Secondly, the allegations by Ubaba Zungu prove that there are many other statements that were fabricated or cooked by the state. The first statement that comes to mind is the one that was allegedly made by Thabang Makeleni, who has sadly passed away. In the statement by Thabang Makeleni, it is alleged that he saw two men running out of the Khumalo house after the two bullets were fired. Makeleni stated that one man had dreadlocks and a gold tooth. However, what's shocking is that Makeleni was far away from the house. So how was it possible that he could see facial features of the guy with dreadlocks and as well as Bongantans? How was it possible? Clearly, the statement of Thabang Makeleni was fabricated by the police because he was dead. A dead man cannot speak. They know that the defense cannot cross-examine Thabang Makeleni because he's dead. So now they can say whatever they want via his statement. So do not believe the statement of Thabang Makeleni because to me it was fabricated. It is strange that he died of poisoning just after the death of Brigadier Ndlovu and his wife. So 3 people died in a close space of time. Someone out there really did not want them to testify in court because they might contradict the state narrative. So they had to be eliminated. That is how I see it. They died in a very short space, which means someone said, no, these guys have to be eliminated. The question is, Did the state eliminate them? Well, you must connect the dots. I'm not going to give you an answer because you are smart enough. I trust you. So, Absalom Zungu, I believe, is going to be the star witness for the defense because of his revelations. It will just show that Gininda is not a man of high integrity. Babu Zungu told iDaily Sun ukuthi Gininda offered money if he comes to court and then implicates Untanzi and Sibiya. But Absalom Zungu said, no, I know nothing about the case of Senzo Meyiwa. Zungu further stated that his son has just lost his ways because he got mixed up in this case, and then the love of money, it just destroyed his son. So Babu Zungu has a lot to say, and I'm praying that he is safe up until the case resumes so that he can take a stand and then debunk all the information that was told to the court by Brigadier Gininda. It is very, very important. And I somehow hope that Longotwala as well is safe wherever he is, because who knows? He might come to the assistance of the defense because conscience might find him. Conscience might find him. Remember that Advocate Tefo said when he was in Sun City prison, he was arrested alongside with Longotwala. And Tefo claimed that Longotwala confessed to him. So if the defense can get hold of Longo and then try and convince him to tell the truth, then the state case, it will be all over. Because if Longo can come and confess in court, then it will show that Ubaloyi and Gininda were lying all this time. And then there should be investigation of both of them. So if the allegations by Tefo are true, then I hope that the defense can find Longotwala, because conscience might find Longotwala. Because one thing for sure is that Longotwala's life has never been the same ever since the death of Senzo Meyiwa, meaning that he was cursed the day that Senzo was shot. That says something, and I'm sure you can connect the dots. Based on Mhlophe's statement, we know that Tumela Madlala told him ukuthi Longotwala is the one that shot Senzo Meyiwa by mistake. If Longo admits that yes, it was a mistake, I do not believe that he should be given a harsh sentence. A mistake is a mistake. He should be charged, then maybe be given like 5 years in prison, because he would have told the truth and then gave the closure to the Meyiwa family and then to us as a country in general, because the truth shall set you free. So who knows, maybe Longotwala could be a surprise witness for the defense, because a confession will surely save his life. Because at the moment, he's in and out of prison, in and out of rehab, because of the curse that occurred after the shooting of Senzo Meyiwa. But one thing that I'm worried about is that I watched the YouTube channel of Patricia Mashele, where she said the defense has not been in contact with Absalom Zungu. What are they waiting for? Because Absalom Zungu could be the safe in this case. If the Daily Sun could find Absalom Zungu, surely the defense can locate him. So I'm praying that the likes of Advocate Mnisi, Advocate Nxumalo, Shololo will find Babu Zungu, because if they don't bring him to court, then they would have failed Bontans. They would have failed Musibiya. They would have failed Gadla Mncube, Mapisa, and Fisokuhle Ntuli. So I'm hoping that the defense, wherever they are actively looking for him, as well as preparing for this case. I do not want to see a process whereby they are saying that they need more time to prepare, because now it's time to present their case. It's time to bring Untanzi, Sibi and Mapisa to the stand so that they can tell us in their own words ukuthi they did not shoot or unalive Senzo Meyiwa. So wherever the defense lawyers are, I hope that they are working hard, because the defense or the accused deserves good lawyers, because this case against them is fabricated. Thank you for watching.